All I do is skin, skin, skin. All I do is skin, skin, skin.
Johnny boy! Johnny boy!
Mom, I told you to knock before you come down here. It's my private space.
I know, sweetie. I just wanted you to know that Din Din is ready.
Okay, Mom, jeez.
Hey, is my big bottle of lotion down there, sweetie? I need it for my bunions.
No, Mom.
When am I going to meet this new girlfriend of yours?
Mom, she's not ready. Stay out of my basement.
And I wish I had made kielbasa, actually, for dinner, now knowing that we're going to Poland this evening.
We're going to Krakow.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
Have you ever been?
Yes, I have.
Are you serious?
Yes, I have.
What the fuck?
I've been to Krakow because that is I wanted to see Auschwitz, and so I went to Auschwitz.
Is that in Poland?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
It's near Krakow. So it was a very powerful experience. And the food was excellent in Poland, I have to say. I did not expect the food to be as good as it was.
Really?
It was excellent, yeah.
What was it? A bunch of meat?
Yeah, like kielbasa, pierogies.
Love pierogi.
I just remember going out to a couple restaurants and being really impressed.
So we're going to Poland tonight. And if this is your first episode, this is the Talk Murder to Me podcast, a weekly true crime show. We release episodes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes on Fridays. I think Nicole's going to release some creepy pastas, which we're calling creepy linguinis, for Halloween's coming up. So she's going to do a couple stories and
Get you in the mood.
release them on Saturday or something. Some creepy linguinis. So look forward to that. So my name is John. I'm sitting here with Jen and Nicole. I put all my sources, photos, and videos on talkmurder.com. So go there. This is episode 268. This is one of the episodes you definitely want to see the photos of because there's some real skin-interesting photos.
Oh, I see what you did there.
So I'm thinking either cannibal or like another skin suit type thing.
Ooh.
So what you're looking at now is what?
A fishing boat.
No.
A ferry.
No.
A boat.
It is a boat, but it's a tugging boat.
Oh, a tugboat.
Okay.
It's a tugboat. And that's not LOS. It's some kind of weird Polish, Russian bullshit symbol. But it is called the Loss, but in some weird letters.
I think it's the L is like a W sound
Lost?
with the L with the slash has like a W sound.
Yeah. And then the S has some kind of weird tilde, but it's like not the Spanish one. But anyway, that's the tugboat ship. This is the exact same one right here. And judging by this picture, when do you think this was taken?
In the 90s or early 2000s.
January 6th, 1999.
We're gonna party like it's 1999.
This is in the Dable Nawista in Krakow. This is on the Vistula. You been there? It's a big river.
I don't remember a river.
Oh, so one place you haven't been.
Correct.
Okay, well, that's good. The captain, as you see there, he opens the latch because something is stuck in the propeller.
Oh boy.
Is it a body?
Oh dear.
This is like that horror movie we watched.
Yeah.
Something stuck in the
Something
propeller.
got stuck in the propeller, or somebody got chopped up in the propeller.
Oh, no.
It was a monster from like the sea or something.
It was the vampire movie that we watched where the guy got chopped up in the propeller early on in the movie.
Yeah, but we also watched that other one with the sea monsters.
Well, I just watched the Titanic on the way to.
That's not scary.
No, but
I hate
people
that movie.
But people did jump and like some hit the propellers. when the boat was sinking.
True.
You know, that's actually the first time I had seen that movie through.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I saw parts of it, and like you.
Wait,
know,
isn't the movie 3 hours?
Yeah, I watched half of it on
On the way up and the other half on the way
Who
down.
watches half of a movie?
me
Well,
when I am on an airplane.
All right, so January 6, 1999, the captain of this tugboat hears some noises. It's like covered by the water, so it makes that sound with the bubbles. Something in the propeller. And this happens all the time. Apparently, tree limbs get caught in there, dolphins, manatees,
in this river?
children.
No.
Oh my gosh.
There would not be dolphins in a river in Poland.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've never been to Poland, so
I feel like I can say that quite adamantly.
penguins, all kinds of shit gets caught in the propeller. But he actually can see through the propeller latch. He actually
Uh-oh.
sees what he thinks. Well, it's a very nasty smell coming from it. The propeller bay. Do you want to guess what's in there?
I'm
Something dead.
gonna go with a body.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a body, but he does think he sees a human ear
Ew!
floating on the water. He's not sure.
Just an ear?
No, it's attached to something.
A head?
Not a head, no. But it's attached to something as a human ear. He goes back down. He goes all the way down to the propeller bay and he opens up the gate to get it out, whatever it is. And he noticed an awful stench. And this is what he sees. That's what's in there. It looks like a fish. I don't know why they blurred it out. I mean, this is Poland. They don't blur anything out in Poland.
Yeah, but maybe they were trying to be sensitive. I don't know.
Well, what are we looking at?
What do you think it is? So describe it, what you're seeing. So this is on the boat. This is the propeller. It looks like they put something, and it's kind of blurred out, but it's white. It almost looks like a fish.
Yeah, I could see that.
A weird looking fish.
It would be a very large fish.
Yeah.
Be like 3 feet.
Here's another photo of where it was. This is the propeller. You see the...
Okay, so that's like where he can go down and go see what's caught in there.
So what you're looking at is the boat propeller, and I would imagine the propeller is off to the right there or the left. But you can put your hand in the middle there, and I guess it'd be safe.
I don't know.
Hopefully you turned it off first.
Yeah, you don't want to take any risks with a propeller that moves.
Yeah, but something was definitely stuck in there. This is exactly what was stuck in there. So I'll put this on talkmore.com. This is what was stuck in there. That is the photo there. And
what am I looking at?
I don't know. Let's try to figure
mutilated
this out.
body.
Is that a nose and some teeth on the left?
Okay, so there's supposed to be an ear somewhere in this. So this is human skin right here. It's been in there for quite a while, actually, about a year.
In the propeller or in the river?
No, in the river. This is just the human skin. The whole body is missing. I think that's the neck. And there's
I
supposed
can
to be
see like the nose. Yeah. Oh, the ear is up at the top.
where?
Towards like the top.
It's really hard to see, but this is when they first pulled it out of the human skin. This is the exact human skin, but this is when they laid it out. This is the skin once it's laid out. Now, this was stuck in the propeller. So
So glad we just ate.
Yeah.
I'm never going to eat seafood again because this shit was in there for a fucking year.
Well, I'm pretty sure, like, it's not like you're eating things from the river.
And then they pulled the leg out 3 days later. They didn't find the head or anything else. It's still there. Just the leg and the skin. The skin of a human. That's human.
I can
the complete
see.
outness of a human.
But no innards.
No innards, no.
But they found that, but there was a leg
There was a right leg.
that was already skinned.
No, it was just a right leg.
Hole.
Oh.
Yeah. This is the skin laid out. So if you see there on the left, that is the skin. And what does that look like to you?
It looks like a woman's torso.
Well, it's a bodysuit. So this is whoever killed this victim cut the skin off like Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs.
Oh boy.
and was wearing it as a bodysuit, you know?
Oh no.
And the nipples are still there too. It's weird. But the head's not there. You see now the
it
skin,
almost
right?
looks like it's twisted up at the neck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the
right?
head's not there, and I think that's that might be the
Shoulder?
shoulder or something. You see where they cut it?
Yeah.
Do you see what
Yes.
we're looking at here?
Oh, I see it.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought y'all would be more freaked out.
Well,
I'm just like shocked, honestly.
All right, so the captain pulls out the skin, and I wrote in my notes, you know, how resilient is skin, right? Holy shit.
I wonder if it was treated or with something, maybe?
I mean,
Because
that
you would
shit,
think
Like, why
it would
would it be-
decompose.
yeah, it'd be like waterlogged.
but the skin is like a rubber band, like it's elastic. It's not going to decompose, I don't think.
Or you would think that a fish is eating it,
Yeah.
you know?
They would choke on it. I guess the skin is so
Rubbery.
thick and rubbery. Well, let me just put it in perspective for you right now, because this will put this whole case in perspective. Yes, you're looking at a skin bodysuit like Ed Gein, but the name of the case from the police, the Polish police, when they have to label a case, oh, we're looking for a killer. All right, we need a task force. What do we, you know how we got the Green River Task Force or whatever. What do we name this case in task force? What do you think the single word they chose was?
Krakow killer.
The single word they labeled the case was leather.
Ew.
Oh.
This is a code leather, you know? Leather
Yeah, that's
is very, very resilient, very stretchable, fits snugly. So this is a bodysuit. So you see at the vagina, so this is a female,
Yes.
obviously the breast. The pink marks you're looking at is where the skin was cut.
Okay.
As you're going to see, the skin was purposely cut off the victim as they were alive.
oh.
And
oh, lordy.
yeah, and that is where they cut. So they cut it in two places. So let's go back to this photo right here. Do you remember that weird thing you said was the shoulder?
And was
Yeah.
it just the front? Like, is the back of the skin included?
No,
in-
it's just
in
the
this?
front.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the front. But you see how that cut goes down the...
Yes.
So, and then you see it there, it's kind of ripped.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So that is the same thing. That's kind of a creepy fucking image.
That is creepy.
It looks like two eyeballs. Ugh. The Polish police, they are now looking for this leather killer. They hired a Portuguese and American 3D analysis team and DNA experts. They actually got the U.S. FBI involved in this
Oh,
case as
wow.
well. They did a complete psychological profile and everything. Now, this is Poland.
When did Silence of the Lambs come out? I'm trying to think. Was that before this?
Yeah,
Came out
it
in
was
the
before.
90s, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
96, 97.
I'm wondering if they were like, maybe they can help us because of the movie.
1991.
Oh, yeah.
This is 1999, so I don't know if the killer was going for that or not. I mean, I feel like no one watches a horror movie and tries to do it in real life. I don't know.
Well,
I don't think it's impossible.
It was determined that the victim died of blood loss and in a very specific way. So Nicole asked, you know, is this the front or the back? The skin, what you're not seeing here on the skin is it is the front, but the skin was cut precisely, and that is a pretty good cut. You think of the skin as very thick fabric. It is cut pretty precisely down, and the victim was alive when she was cut, but it was from her armpit all the way down to her waist and then to her groin. That's where it was cut.
Mm-hmm.
Groin.
groin.
From her armpit down to her waist to the vagina area. That's where she was cut. On the sides. And then she bled out as she was...
As the skin
Being
is
skinned. That's
lifted
terrible.
off of her.
And as you're going to hear, they believe that the killer didn't actually use any scissors, that he tore it.
Oh No.
He tore it off.
With his bare hands?
Yeah, so it's like that chicken you're tearing off earlier. The chicken, that rotisserie chicken. You're tearing the skin off and putting it in your mouth.
I was eating a little bit. There's love rotisserie chicken. It's delicious. Oh, God.
Holy shit. And then some of the skin falls down into the sink and it gets stuck in the propeller. The garbage disposal propeller.
Oh my God. Oh man. Yeah, but like you would think it's a lot harder to rip off. I mean, human skin is much thicker than chicken skin and things like that.
Okay. Talking to an expert here. I don't know. I never tried to rip off human skin before.
It's not easy.
Because this is going past the subcutaneous level or whatever. This is like you ripping the skin. You're also destroying all the nerve
muscles.
endings.
Oh my gosh, that must have been so painful.
You're pulling all those nerves out.
I don't like this murder. I mean, I like the case, but
it's
I
not
don't
the first layer of skin.
Yeah.
You know, like when you see the horror movies or whatever, and you can see the muscle striations in the chest and everything, but it's not gushing blood. You can just see the muscles. Shit. Maybe I'm over explaining it, or maybe I'm under explaining it.
No. I'm like scratching myself right now. Oh, I feel itchy.
You feel this way about the skin as I do about parrots.
And eyeballs.
Yeah, and eyeballs.
Quote, as a result of the studies, it was determined that the unfortunate 23-year-old student was beaten first, then slit starting at her neck, armpits, then vulva, were cut with a knife, and she died from blood loss. The skin, then her skin was flayed, end quote. Now that's translated from Polish, so probably came out a little wrong. But there were several beat marks on her. Now they don't have the face, they don't have the head. What you're looking at, this picture is what they're seeing. So somehow they can determine that she was beat badly, very badly. All they have is the front half of her skin and a right leg, but they know that she's beat beyond anything just by the bruise. I mean, they got the FBI, they got forensic analysis, they got the whole thing for fucking Poland.
All I can say is I hope she was unconscious when she was skinned, because I
just told you she wasn't unconscious. She was alive.
No. I'm just saying, you know how she was beaten. Maybe she was unconscious from the other wounds.
The guy skinned her all the way down from her armpits to her groin while she was alive. It's like when you kill a cow. You know how they kill cows and they massage them.
I just meant maybe she was like, if she was beaten, maybe she was like knocked upside the head, and she was like,
no, she was
not
very
totally
much alive
with it,
because she died of blood loss, which is amazing that they can determine this stuff. Because I mean, what you're looking at, her skin was stuck in a propeller, but yet they knew that she was beaten. I mean, why wouldn't they think the propeller beat the skin up? You know, I mean, it's crazy what forensic people can do, and this is in fucking Poland. But then
I wonder, does a bruise fade after you're dead? Like, that's interesting. I don't know.
Well, she does have a lot of bruises, and they weren't from the propeller. That's how they know that. No, the bruise doesn't go away. It stays there forever. That's how they know that. Yeah. She was alive during everything.
Oh.
They could tell that when her organs were cut out, because, you know, you got to get the innards out if you want to. It's just like a bear rug or something, you know? You got to get all the innards out. Not that we have a bear rug, but
no.
You got to get all that shit out, you know? And the organs were actually, quote, cut by hand and not machine, end quote. So by his hand, not even a freaking scissors to cut the innards out. It was like ripped precisely with his hands. It's weird, right? Very weird.
Pretty aggressive.
He had to peel the skin back, and he had no scissors to cut it. Several suspects were arrested for this. And this is fucking Russia, man.
I wonder how they figured out how to even make an arrest from this.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Were they able to identify who the woman was?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that. Well, I'm going to get to her photo
Okay.
here in a second. But yeah, they know who it was.
Okay.
It was a 23-year-old student, and they found her DNA. I guess she had DNA on file. But fucking Russia, Poland, and all these countries over there, man, they are just fucking brutal, dude. Like the 3 guys, 1 hammer,
that was
shit
a
like
bad
that.
one.
This is one of the suspects, and they have arrested a lot of people. And this is just one of the suspects they arrested. He didn't do it. He didn't do this murder, they found out. But this is who they thought at first. It was a guy, a Russian student named Vladimir. And he was arrested. Well, he was already in prison for another murder, and they thought he may have done this one. But this was the murder. He, quote, killed his father and chopped off his scalp.
Oh, boy.
What?
He sewed it up like a balaclava and put it on his head.
Oh, God.
He put it on his head to pretend to be his father in front of his grandfather. End
What
quote.
the fuck?
That's who they arrested.
Wait, and it wasn't him. So,
It wasn't him. This is the fucking Russians, man.
whoa.
Actually, you know,
I mean, I can see why they would have assumed that it was the same guy.
it's
Yeah,
the
for sure.
fucking Russians. It's like the Japanese when we do the freaking Asian stories. They're just into some gory, demented, just like creepy shit, creepypasta shit. The Russians are just fucking brutal, man.
Violent.
Like violent, brutal. Brienne on her podcast, Among the Dirt and Trees, she actually, the episode she's releasing tomorrow is of the Russian chessboard killer. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Oh no.
That motherfucker he was taking vodka bottles and sticking it in people's eyes. Like broken vodka bottles and just leaving them there. And then he would go home and mark off on his chessboard, you know, another victim. He was trying to get all 64 slots on the fucking thing.
Oh, my God.
They're just violent over there, man.
That's
You
something
know,
else.
fucking revolutions and shit, I guess, from all the years. Crazy, man. But yeah, he killed his father, chopped off his scalp, sewed it up like a balaclava.
Were you thinking of baklava the entire
I
time?
definitely was. Yeah.
Sewed it up like a balaclava and put it on his head to pretend to be his father in front of his grandfather. I do want to do that story.
Wow.
But that story didn't even make the news. It's like,
Wow.
oh, this is just daily Russia.
Just another day over here.
This is the victim right here. If you want to describe her, her name is, and I'm gonna fuck this up. That's why I got this. That's why we hire people to do the translations that you're about to hear right now. But Katarzyna Zawada.
Katarzyna Zawada.
Now I saw one paper that called her Catherine, so that's what I'm going to call her from now on. She went missing November 1998. She was supposed to meet her mother at the doctor's office. And she was fished from and this is what the words they use over there in Russia, quote, fished from the Vistula River about a year later. Her background is she was a student in religious studies at can't pronounce the university, is a university in Krakow.
Jagiellonian University.
Katarzyna, 23, went missing in November 1998. A year later, her skin was fished from the Vistula River, from which the murderer sewed a costume similar to a woman's bodysuit. The victim was probably alive when she was skinned. A bit later, part of the buttock and the missing leg were found.
A psych profile done with the help of the FBI said they were looking for a sadist. These psych profiles, I don't know if y'all know this, but I don't even put them in my story because they're all cookie cutter bullshit. None of them even match up.
Yeah.
Like they're all just like, oh, he's a male. He's a white male with no girlfriend. Well, fucking duh. Like, what the fuck? Are you stupid or something?
I mean, odds are that's going to be the profile.
It's a human being. Okay, well, that's a good start. Like, what the fuck?
Crosses off dog.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just all just bullshit, anyway, in my opinion. Anyway, and they fuck up the police, too, because now they're looking for some
Right.
fucking shit
Yeah.
that's not even... All right. The psych profile said that they were looking for a sadist, a prior convict. It also suggested that he enjoyed the harassment of women, and he had bisexual inclinations. I kept seeing this a lot. I don't know if they don't do the gay rights over there, but they were very adamant that this dude was had homosexual tendencies.
Do you think he was? They said that because it was like he was trying to put the woman's skin like on him,
maybe,
and wanted to be a woman.
Maybe, but
I feel like they were just like.
Well, that was kind of like what Buffalo Bill did in Silence of the Lambs. I feel like
they don't accept that over there.
They don't. 100%.
It's all in the newspapers. It's like, this guy is definitely homosexual. Like, they get it as like front line and center, man.
Not except like you like hate crimes are very prevalent.
Oh, okay, well that's why.
Yeah.
But like in all the papers, it's like, dude, this guy is. And some of the words they use is like, wow, we could never use words like that over here.
And Russia in particular, you do not want to be like, it's dangerous, honestly.
It's interesting that they said that he had bisexual tendencies, because I feel like, well, not even just feel like, because you're bisexual does not mean that you want to be a woman or wear a woman's clothing, or excuse me, wear a woman's skin as clothing. That's kind of more transgender or maybe gender nonconforming rather than bisexual. But of course, back then in the 1990s,
oh yeah, that's true.
They didn't.
That wasn't as common.
It wasn't as common. So I just thought it was interesting that they said bisexual tendencies, because it's different than transgender.
Good call.
They also said that he was heavy into karate. Actually, they used martial arts, which was true.
Huh.
They got a couple good things right, man.
That's an interesting one, though. The student's skin was also tested. It was assessed that the traces of blows indicates that they were inflicted with great force and that the perpetrator could train martial arts. The cuts he made were extremely precise, indicating that he also had expertise in how to cut the human body. Like a surgeon?
Like a surgeon.
No, more like a taxidermist.
Ah.
They have the killer in custody.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to get to that. I mean, this is pretty recent, 2020. Well, actually, I think it was arrested 2017, but I will get to that. The case went completely cold at the end of 1999. Millennium, 2000, Y2K bug. People are like, Y2 what? Fucking teenagers.
I remember being frightened when I was driving home.
Fucking Leonard Nimoy came on and was like, listen, this is not a drill. This is some real shit. The nukes are going to just fly out of the mountains and everyone's going to fucking die. I'm like, Jesus Christ, all because of some asshole didn't plug in a date right when he invented the fucking computer.
You remember when we were at the ice cream shop and the girl said she was born in 1998 and you're like, wow, so you don't even... No,
she said she was born in 2002, I think.
Well, maybe.
And I was like, wow, right. You don't even remember Y2K. And she's like, what?
She was like, yeah, no.
She didn't know what I was talking about.
It's like,
she's like, I got other customers, sir, please. You're creepy. Here's my number. I like older men.
My God, stop it.
I'm so lucky.
This is the killer right here. Now, there's not a lot on this story, so it's pretty short. This is a Thursday case anyway. But this is the killer right here. Very short guy. But, all the Russian police are just fucking bears, too. Like, all the ones I saw, they're just huge. But that's the guy. That's the killer. Right there.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
Interesting that they blurred his face out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they were doing that. They even now they won't print his last name or her last name. You saw that one. You read a quote where it just had
Z.
I mean, these are papers now from a couple years ago. This happened 20 years ago, and they still won't use her last name. Like, okay, I can find it anywhere else. Like, why don't you just use the last name? They won't use his name. They called him Robert J. His name is Robert Janskowski.
Robert Janczewski.
But all the papers call him Robert J. I don't know. It's weird. It's like privacy shit. I don't fucking know. It's crazy. All right. He was actually working at the Institute of Zoology when he was arrested.
Oh, boy.
I
would not want him near any live animals. That's for damn
But
sure.
his job, apparently, if it's translated right, was he skinned animals. That's fucking crazy ass job is that?
I wonder if that's how they figured out it was him based on the profession?
All right, that's a good question. When they first found the skin a year later, caught up in the propeller, they did interrogate the guy. They thought it may be him, but I mean, what evidence you got? You got a skin wrapped up in a propeller. There's no CCTV or anything. I didn't do it. What do you want from me? Yeah. They have nothing really. In fact, I forgot to mention, this is kind of interesting. When the case went cold in 1999, because of no evidence, they filed it in it's the archive, but it's, Polish word, Archium X. They filed it with the Archium X team, which literally translates to the X Files. Whoa. Isn't that crazy?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? So I don't think they have X Files over there, but she had met this guy once before, and I saw in one newspaper, a very prevalent newspaper, I'll put all my sources on talkmore.com, that they were boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't see it, man, but maybe. But she had met this guy while she was buying records at a local fair. And he was fired from his zoology job at the Institute of Zoology. Why do you think they would fire this guy? Something went wrong.
Inappropriate use of the skin.
He was in charge of, it's like 20 or 30 guinea pigs, those little hamsters.
Oh, yeah, like the ones I watched that my friend...
Yeah. So those guinea pigs, he was in charge of them, and they all were mysteriously dead.
Oh,
and when they asked him about it, he said, or the paper said, he could, quote, not provide a reason why, quote. So they're like, how the fuck did this happen? And he's just like,
I don't know.
They were all murdered, like all fucking violently,
That's
like
so awful,
thrown on the, like just fucking.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy shit. They were all dead. Like he just went in a rage and killed them all. And then when they asked him, he was like, I don't know. So they fired him. He was also visiting the grave of Catherine all these years later. Because, I mean, they just got this guy in 2017.
Wow.
The photo you're looking at right now is pretty recent. So this was 20 years or later.
Yeah, so I'm trying to picture him 20 years. He's 20 years older in that photo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess it's possible that they
But he's still the same height.
True.
He's a short ass dude.
True.
He is supposed to be a bodybuilder. Like they found he's a martial artist bodybuilder. And then I saw his photo. I was like, shit, maybe he's one of those senseis that, they don't look like much. Yeah, he doesn't look like much. But he violently beat that woman. He changed into women's clothes. Now, they were doing surveillance on him. So for several months, they seen him change into women's clothes and spying on his own neighbors. Here's another quote. This is the thing. It says, he was bisexual. It's like, that's the worst shit ever. Like how they frame it in all these papers. Like, oh my God, this dude is gay or something. It's
not seen as a positive thing at all over there.
He also described the murder in a personal diary of his. Oh. And there were traces of DNA belonging to Catherine found in his apartment. So, I mean, he's obviously done for.
It's crazy, though, that it took them so long to catch him formally. It is known that Catherine was tortured before her death. The right limb over the ankle joint had to be strapped to something until finally, between December 7th and 14th, 1998, the perpetrator choked the victim with a chain. Before that, he had been giving her drugs. He also broke her femur and pelvis by punching a barbell and a bodybuilding plate.
Oh my God.
Stab wounds, chop wounds, and lacerations were also discovered. He probably also sexually abused her when she was dead.
Huh. Now, I'm pretty sure they're getting all this exact information from how they question, perpetrator inmates over there. It's not like in America, I'm pretty sure. They're like, you need to come in this room right now. There's no cameras or anything. So what happened?
I don't know, yeah.
I don't know, though. But He is currently locked up. A little bit about him, just real quick. Robert J., considered a, quote, freak and a, quote, weirdo, end quote. This is from the newspapers. When he was a kid, he abused cats and dogs, obviously. He was expelled from vocational school. He was 52 when he was arrested. He considered himself an artist. That's what he says. He was homosexual and wore women's underwear. He was extremely religious. He sat in the first pew at his church. He lived in Canada at one point, but moved back to Poland in 1998. He was smart and clever. This is all from the newspapers. Was considered an intellectual, had high expectations of women. Quote, they had to be well educated, wear French underwear, and be obedient at the same time, end quote. Well, that's, yeah, I mean, I get that. That's like all the shit I look for. Shit.
He ain't
Well,
got
that
no
wasn't.
type.
I guess you need to keep looking.
Oh, shit. But anyway, apparently his father beat him. He thought that was the best way of discipline. They were extremely religious, and he still lived with his mother near the Vistula Boulevard. That's the story from what I've gleaned from the translations of English.
So was she the only victim?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's
So
what
I
we
guess
know.
they knew each other, and for at least briefly, one paper said they were girlfriend. I mean, there might be other victims. I don't know. They don't even want to release his last name, which is crazy because
Weird.
we know his last name. Everyone knows his last name. So he's in prison forever. But
I mean, you don't see those types of skin suits
oh yeah, he was definitely wearing
very
it. Yeah.
often.
The fact that it got
I wonder-
stuck up that to the propeller.
I wonder what made him throw it in the river.
I don't know, but he cut the head off. The head's probably still down there because if the leg's down there, they fished one leg out. I mean, it's crazy. Where's the other parts? It's got to
Yeah.
be there.
Somewhere.
I feel like in America, they'd drain the fucking whole thing. They'd find that shit. We ain't just going to leave a head down there.
Yeah, search teams and stuff.
Can you imagine, like, let's say here...
Here, Timmy, let's go for a walk along the riverbank.
in your nice little quaint neighborhood in America, and there's a fucking human head floating around in
I'd
there.
be moving.
Dude, we would at least fake finding the head here. Like, we ain't just gonna they just called it up. I can't find it. That shit's down there. Like, fucking find it, bro. The head, the leg, and both the arms,
Well, it
man.
depends on how big the river is
Yeah.
with the
but
the
in
force of the current.
Yeah, but it's not like finding a body, and it's like, well, maybe they threw her in here.
It could also have been fish food at that point in time.
I know. I'm just saying.
Because if the head is wholly intact,
Yeah, so he didn't skin the head.
then
But what kind of freshwater fish can consume a human head?
no, they're just like little bits at a time. Little bit, they're just like nibbling on the
Just
the
a little
skin
nibble,
flakes.
nibble.
Oh my God, stop. Stop that.
Just like that lasagna we just ate.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like the same texture.
Oh my God,
Of
stop.
course, I got the end piece,
go throw up.
the crust.
Oh my gosh!
So
One
that's
of a kind.
some fucking Polish shit
So
right there.
he wore it around before he threw it in the river
Yeah,
or in his home.
yeah.
I wonder why.
It's cold in Russia, Poland. Cold.
It's an extra.
It's cold there.
It's like his long johns.
Anyway, that is the story. Very sad. Glad she finally got justice, but
Yeah.
what kind of justice is getting your skin sucked up in a propeller?
Yeah, that's awful.
What the fuck?
That's.
What is? I mean, can you imagine them trying to pull it out? Because you know that shit's all twisted up. and shit.
Can you imagine being the person that's like pulling it out and then you
No.
realize what it is?
Well, he saw the ear apparently first. But in Russia, they're not like, whatever. You saw the fucking thing. He was filming it with a handy cam, and he had pulled it out. In America, you would just leave it. You know, and Poland,
Yeah.
you got to make your money, man. Let's get this skin out,
This is
and
it.
let's fucking throw those nets in, or that tugboat, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They got to make their money. They got to keep going. They can't be waiting for the cops to get there and make a whole thing. They just rip it out and fucking lay it there on the bench like they did. Anyway, I'll put those pictures on talkmurder.com. That was a crazy Polish case. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Nicole might do some creepypastas here, just to kind of get us in the Halloween mood. October, my favorite month. So, but if that's all, no one has anything else. Until next time, this is the Talk Murder to Me podcast. My name is John. I'm sitting here with Jen and Nicole. Until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.